K, a research scientist, was accused of having falsified laboratory data. Although the original data in question have disappeared, data from K's more recent experiments have been examined and clearly none of them were falsified. Therefore, the accusation should be dismissed.
All right, so what is our conclusion here?
The accusation of falsifying data should be dismissed.
Excellent. And what is our reasoning for that?
That despite like the original data, the fact that the more recent data from K's experiments have been like examined and deemed not falsified, that's why.
All right, so okay, so say that one more time. Why are we saying the accusation should be dismissed?
Because K's recent experiments have been like carefully examined and none of them were falsified.
Yeah, so why is this good reasoning?
No, because like just because like this more recent experiment wasn't falsified doesn't like dismiss like the data before.
Yeah, that's like me saying, Lindsay killed someone, and then, but the recent, like, Lindsay killed someone 15 years ago, or Lindsay killed someone last year, but she recently went to court dates for someone that she killed last week and wasn't accused. So her original accusation should be dismissed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's silly, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and start with A.
L, an accountant, was charged with having embezzled funds from a client. The charge should be ignored, however, because although the records that might reveal this embezzlement have been destroyed, records of L's current clients show clearly that there has never been any embezzlement from them.
All right, so what's our conclusion?
The charges should be ignored. The embezzlement charges should be ignored.
Why are we saying that?
Because like past embezzlement records have been destroyed and like current clients show that they're like the current records show that there has never been any embezzlement.
Is that the same kind of flaw that's what's going on in ours?
It seems so to me.
Okay, so in our originally, we're saying the accusation should be dismissed because recent data shows that it didn't happen, but we still don't know anything about the original data, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, but in this one we know that there was embezzlement.
yeah, they're saying like since it like this one is saying that although it might reveal it's like although the records have been destroyed. Oh wait, although the records that might reveal this embezzlement has been destroyed. Sorry, I misread this. Records of L's current client show clearly. Yeah, actually, this is the same thing. We're showing that the records that might. Yeah,
I think it's the right answer,
it's
but
the
we
same thing. Yeah, I'm sorry, I misread it. I read this as like the current like the data that like revealed the embezzlement was destroyed,
oh
and it revealed. I don't know. Yeah, I was just yes. I like A too. Let's go on to B though.
M, a factory supervisor, was accused of failing to enforce safety standards. This accusation should be discussed because although the identity of the accuser was not revealed, a survey of factory personnel revealed that some violations of the standards have occurred. I don't think that this one is right because, for one, it's talking about like an accusation being discussed, not dismissed. And it's also not talking about this element of like lack of previous data as well as like current data showing something that
Yeah.
it's just like saying that like the survey reveals that like something has occurred, but it's not like tying the supervisor to those accusations.
Yeah, it's not the same. Um Was accused of failing to enforce the accusation to be dismissed because although the identity of the accuser was not revealed, a survey of factory personnel revealed that some violations of standards have occurred. Yeah. I feel like that's just like really messed up, honestly, that reasoning.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to C.
And a social scientist was charged with plagiarism. The charge is without foundation because although strong similarity between N's book and the work of another scholar have been discovered, the other scholar's work was written after N's work was published. I don't think that this one's right because it's not showing the same like reasoning because it's just saying it's not like talking about an accusation or I mean it's like I feel like it's correctly
Yeah, it's not telling us like, oh, they were wrong once, but now they're right, so it's okay.
it's using like sound reasoning to say to give to give a reason of why the charges were like false.
But, right, what about D?
Oh, an auto mechanic has been accused of selling stolen auto parts. The accusation seems to be justified since although no evidence links O directly to these sales, the pattern of distribution of the auto parts points to O as the source. I still don't think that this one is right because um one it's saying like, you know, the accusation justified, but um it's reasoning for the justification.
Yeah, I don't like this one because the conclusion is saying that something's justified, where ours is saying something should be our conclusion is saying things should be dismissed because things like oh, before they were bad but now they're like okay, where this is saying it's justified because even though we don't have this directly, there's still this pattern that we need to consider. I don't
Okay.
think that's even flawed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then what about D or E? I'm sorry.
P, a politician, has been accused of failing to protect the public interest. From at least some points of view, however, the accusation will undoubtedly be considered false because there is clearly disagreement about where the public interest lies. I don't like this one because it's talking about like it's not using this idea of like um certain points of evidence. It's more kind of talking on the point of like a disagreement and like personal opinion.
What would E have to say in order for it to be like at least closer to being a correct answer?
Um, you could say like the accusation will undoubtedly be, or you could say like talk about like, you know, like despite like earlier evidence of the politician like using city money for his spending, the accusation will undoubtedly be considered false because recently
He's repented of his ways and is an upstanding citizen or something. Yeah. Spot.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. That's the best way to review parallel reasoning questions or parallel flaw questions is to go through and change it to what would make it right and really recognizing the flaw.
That makes sense.
Like we're here, I really like there was a couple that we didn't do it as much, but on some of the more difficult ones, find your conclusion and look at it. Don't think about it through the lens of the stimulus. Think about it like, what would I say is the flaw in this argument? And we're looking for that comparison versus words that just look similar.
Gotcha.